are seemingly dire. But this is the moment-to-moment decision making in your life, that you are making decisions on your own, out of habit, living in the trance, and not stopping to ask, what outcome do I want? Do I want this trance to continue of being right, of expectations, of having expectations? The relationship with expectations is the drug of the ego. That you are, for the most part, unconsciously, because you're not present. So you're in the past already, in the unconscious state. Because all habits are in the past. All habits where you are not present takes you into the past. And in the past, in the belief that you need a defense system, you make decisions with expectations. You have conclusions and expectations that are put in place of how you want things to look and how they will best defend you. This isn't what you think is going on, because you're not in the conscious state of awareness. But that is what's running, is expectations, conclusions, outcomes. Because you believe that you know what is good and what is bad. Because you believe that you have a system set up that is right. And all your rules and all your system within that you've used in the past, in past lifetimes, to stay in the belief that there is something to defend and something that is dangerous. Something that you need protection from. But if you surrender expectations and outcomes, which are the same thing, then the Holy Spirit can move everything for you that will best serve your life. Because all of the identity with good and bad has been released, but this can't be released while you're in a trance of habit. It just can't be. It's not possible. The habits are the trance. They're the same thing. And in those habits, in that trance, you are unconsciously wanting certain outcomes and having expectations of those outcomes and believing that they will keep you safe. Because you have knowing, you think, and this is what you wanted. Except that love is forgotten. And the only thing that's happening is that you are producing a story of likes and dislikes, and you stay in the same place. Love expands. Ego does not expand. Love expands. Love heals. Love transforms. And there is no love in expectations. There is no love in outcomes. Because they're built out of fear. They're built out of, I know, and I'm right. And they come from the past. And you will keep getting the same results. And you will get your moment of satisfaction, the temporary little high of being right in your mind. But the past will continue to reveal itself because you're living in the past. I was glad that my master lived in a one-story house when I began to traverse the early stages of love. For when he would speak of the wonders and the beauty of creation, when he began to reveal the magnificent realities of God, I could not control my happiness. When the master would speak of the creations of God and the light, when all teachings are of light and love, how can you enter into the teachings of light and love when your whole premise of your life is to control and have expectations of outcomes? You would then apply your knowing, your expectations, your outcomes to even the spiritual journey, because you would want to put a box around it of what you think you know so you can identify it. And then there's no ecstaticness because there's no bursting. There's no real receiving because it's all being taken by the mind. That, oh, I know, okay, that, I can, yeah, okay, I understand that. Okay, I can put that in this box. And it remains in a box. And love isn't in a box. Love is bursting. Love is flowing. Love is ecstatic. The willingness to step out of that old, cautious, knowing, control, filled with expectations and outcomes, that's where love is constantly calling to you. Come and play in the light of love. Rest in the peace of love. Revel in the acceptance that only love is real. Offer love because it's what you're here to do. Offer innocence. Offer grace. Offer blessings. Offer the comfort of the truth to every beloved in the happiness that only love is real. Unnameable God, I feel you with me in every moment. You are my food, my drink, my sunlight, and the air that I breathe. You are the ground I have built on and the beauty that rejoices my heart. I give thanks to you at all times for lifting me from this confusion, for teaching me in the dark and showing me the path of life. I have come to the center of the universe and I rest in your perfect love. In your presence there is a fullness of joy and blessedness forever and ever. Let this be your prayer all day long, ecstatically. How can you think about what is going on and having assessments and conclusions and expectations and everything? And I feel you with me at every moment. You are my food, my drink, my sunlight, and the air that I breathe. Where is the ecstatic? Where is the willingness to live this ecstatic life. The willingness, not the figuring out of an ecstatic life. Well, what would that look like? Can I draw a picture of it? No. It's the acceptance. It's just the willingness to accept that there is nothing happening that is not love. There is nothing to be wanting as an outcome. How could you possibly know what is most helpful? How could you possibly know? If the Holy Spirit can use everything, and I promise that's true, the Holy Spirit can use everything, and if you surrender everything into the hands of Spirit, then there is no conclusion that you could possibly know that would be the right conclusion. How could you possibly know the outcome that would be most helpful? But this whole relationship with rules that you are believing in and that you have held in the past as so necessary has said no to God. All of these rules of believing that there is a right and a wrong and a good and a bad, and I like it this way and I don't like it this way, and I want it to look like this and I don't want it to look like that, is a prison that keeps you from jumping out the window. It takes all your attention, it takes all your effort, it takes all your energy to stay on top of what you think, how you think things should be. And they're all basically to believe that you're safe. That's the basis of it. To be happy, let go of expectations and outcomes. Letting go of expectations and outcomes. How could this be? Show me the way. Show me what's most helpful. Show me what to say. Show me when to move. Show me where to sit. Show me what's most helpful. I don't know. Show me the way today. I don't know. I don't know what anything should look like. I don't know the outcomes of anything. And in this I can be happy. That it's in the hands of God. That I will not use my mind anymore to conclude what I think is needed. What I think is right. What I think is better. Show me the way to the new life. To the new life of the wonders and the beauty of creation. You cannot enter into the wonders and the beauty of creation when your mind is filled with an agenda for the day. It's not possible. And how easily do you, like a rubber band, slip back into the habits of assessments and conclusions. It is habit. It is addiction. And it is like a rubber band. And the only remedy to the rubber band is the refusal to accept it any longer. To want to be aware. To want to be present and question, what do I want? What is the outcome that I want? I want peace. This is where the ego will no longer have you. If the outcome that you want is peace, then it will not be in being right about how you think things should turn out. Imagine the freedom of no longer being at the effect of how you want things to be, or how you think things should be, how they should look, what they mean, all the meaning that you've given to everything. Even to the point of the car doesn't start. What's your initial reaction? Trouble. Who made that up? These are the rules of the world. These are completely conceptualized identities of the perception of safety that has nothing to do with reality of love. To have no expectations, to not be at the effect of the car not starting in the morning, but to open joyously to God, okay, I'm here, show me the way. I refuse to accept that there is a right and a wrong. I refuse to accept that there's a bad and a good. But in order to refuse to accept that, I have to refuse to accept it. Not theoretically, but actually in the everyday life. The perception that you are without because the car doesn't start is completely fabricated. When possibly the brilliance of the car not starting opens the doorway of you asking someone else to drive you. And that beloved would not have that opportunity of being of service without your car not starting. But your limited awareness, your habits are so narrow and so small that they're stuck in the right and the wrong that you've already predetermined you know. And when you open to the grace of love, of healing, because everything can serve healing. And how would you possibly be aware that another beloved would be so divinely served by being your chauffeur? How could you possibly enter into that without letting go and trusting that there is no good and bad, that this is the opportunity of love? Somehow you don't know what it's going to look like, you don't know what it means, but here it is, the opportunity for love to shine. And every moment is like that. Every moment that you kidnap and say, I know what the conclusion should be, I know what the right expectation is, I know what the right outcome is. No, you don't. You don't know. Because love has no right and wrong. Love has no good and bad. There is no way that it should be except in your own mind and what you think you know. You don't know how life will be orchestrated for you and how the ecstatic dance of love will open when you pull away all of your imprisonment of the day by not having expectations and outcomes that you think are right and you think are wrong. The beloved has a cold. The instant there's a cold, it's, oh no, I have a cold. Instead of, there's a blessing here that I am not aware of, but I am open to. Show me the way. Show me what the healing and the teaching is of this moment. I don't know. But I'm willing, and I am saying yes to the ecstatic unfolding that can open when I am not putting my condemnation on it of what I think I know. And it is a condemnation because it is condemning you to not being aware of love in that moment, to not being aware that there is the divine grace and harmony of God that is in perfect movement always. You had an idea that someone was coming to visit you, and you thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. You thought about what it should be like and how it should be and the outcome that you think it should be and all of that. You had a whole idea set up. And then the beloved calls and says, I won't be coming. And in that moment, the perfection that is available in that moment. Not even a thought that there was something wrong. The only reason there would be disappointment was because of the fantasies you made up. Because you had expectations and outcomes that you thought were right. And those outcomes and expectations of what you thought were right because you were going to get something. You were going to... Every fantasy is about getting. Every idea of expectations is about getting. About having something the way that you think you will get the most from. There's no love there. Because in the belief of getting, you have completely forgotten and not been aware that you have everything. That you are whole and complete in the light of God. And that there is nothing missing. Are you offering love in that moment is the question. Are you offering blessings? Are you offering the grace of accepting the harmony of God is the question. And sharing that illumination through your heart, letting it pour, letting it open. Grateful that you don't know how anything should look, how anything should unfold, what anything means, what anything is for, but that you're willing for the divine ecstatic dance to have its way, to truly have its way. The idea of the mind that wants to know and wants to figure out the day is terrified. It's just terrified. And it becomes so habitual that the terror isn't even recognized anymore. It's just a low-grade fever that's running underneath the surface. Not even recognized, it's just now captured by, of course I'm right. Of course I know. Of course, I did this yesterday. Of course I'll do it again the same way today. Of course, I did it the day before this way. Of course, I'll do it again this way. Because I know. And there's no ecstatic movement there at all. There's no heart-filled, thy will be done. There's no willingness to open those doorways and let it reveal itself. But that's where love is. That's where love can shine. And imagine the freedom the exquisite freedom of letting things unfold without your control, without your assessments and habits being in charge of everything. How exhausting are those habits? Absolutely exhausting. Absolutely. It's like wrapping ropes around yourself and pulling on yourself constantly from these ropes and suffocating with these ropes of the past. Having to do everything exactly this way because this is how I always do them and this is how I can stay in my trance and not be present. I can just go with the automatic. But there's no love there. There's no ecstatic dance. And there's no receiving of all the blessings that are here in this moment of love. Because you're not available for the moment of love, you're in the past. Trying to control the future, trying to control outcome. No love there. But love is calling. Unnameable God, I feel you with me at every moment. I feel you with me in every moment. Well, you can't be in expectations and a trance state and your habits and feel the presence of God in every moment. It's not possible. You're in your mind with your thoughts, with your ideas, with your habits, with your belief of outcomes. How can you possibly be in the moment feeling the presence of God? It's not possible. You're with what you are serving as your master, which is your mind. Your habits, your trance. That's all that's going on. I feel you with me at every moment. You are my food, my drink, my sunlight, and the air I breathe. It's true, but are you there? Are you available for that? Are you drawn to the light? Are you drawn to the peace of every moment? Are you happy to offer love in every moment? Without conditions, without expectations, without outcomes, nothing to get, just offering love. You are the ground I have built on. You are the ground that I walk on. Imagine when you wake up in the morning that you would be aware that God is the ground that you're walking on. And that every step that you take, you're walking with God. Where would your mind be? How could you possibly be in your mind then, thinking about, oh, now I got to do this, and now I got to do this, and these are my habits, and this is what I'm doing. Where is God? Where is God except in your awareness? And that you have to make the choice for. To open that divine communion. To want that divine communion. To go into the closet with God and commune with God. No expectations. No outcomes. Just because your heart longs for the communion. Because it's where it belongs, in that communion. You're the ground I have built on and the beauty that rejoices my heart. Are your eyes open? Are your eyes connected to your heart? And are you seeing the beauty of every moment? And when you see another beloved, does your heart catch its breath in the beauty of that beloved's innocence, and you see God? Or are you in your mind thinking about the next thing that you want to get done? Or thinking about what you want to say to that beloved so that you're right, so that you're ahead of the game, so that you're in charge, in control, instead of, I'm here with God. I'm here. And the beauty that rejoices my heart is what you bring to it. God is always here. God is always radiating love. God is always present. All that is. It's only your concept of where your focus is, whether you're available to it or not. That's all. It isn't even that complicated at all. You are here in the presence that rejoices in my heart, because that's what I want, because it's what I choose. I give thanks to you at all times. At all times. Where is the thankfulness when you wake up? When you come out of sleep in the morning, are you filled with thankfulness? That will open your heart every morning. So grateful to have this opportunity to be in communion with God. So grateful to have the heart burst open even more today than it was yesterday. So grateful. At all times. How can you be thinking about outcomes or expectations when you are in gratitude and thankfulness for God at all times? It's not possible, because you can't serve two masters. You can think you can, but you can't. So once you give your attention to the truth of God and prayer, everything turns into the light. And the facade, the illusional state just starts to disappear, because your mind is not focused and in a trance with the past. I give thanks to you at all times for lifting me from my confusion, because I don't want, and I want to recognize the confusion for what it is. The confusion is the confusion that I think I know something. The confusion is that I think I have the answers. The confusion is that I think I'm right about outcomes. Lift me from this confusion, because I can't be ecstatic in this mistaken identity. I say yes to love. I have come to the center of the universe. I rest in your perfect love. Nothing to do, nothing to figure out, nothing to get. No problems. All is in the harmony of God. All is the divine light of God. I accept nothing else. Is that possible? Of course it is. Of course it is. It wouldn't be offered if it was not possible. It would not be even in the journey if it was not completely where you can live. It's your choice, your decision, moment to moment, in the light of love. In your presence, there is a fullness of joy and blessedness forever and ever. Only by letting go of your mind and what you think you know, moment to moment, can you open to that ecstatic, heart-filled place that says, I am the light of God and I refuse anything else. And I offer love in every moment. Show me the way. I don't know the way. How could I know the way? I haven't been there. I don't know the way. Show me in this moment, and I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. My Divine Mother, where you lead me, I will go. I will follow, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. These aren't theories. These are manifestations in the everyday life. This is living the everyday life in the truth of love, in the willingness to transform, in the willingness to no longer be addicted to your own thoughts, your own knowing, your own conclusions, your own assessments, your own expectations, your own outcomes. Imagine that you would have the prayer that would say, Holy Spirit, don't let one word come out of my mouth ever again that talks about good and bad and likes and dislikes. Mm. Holy Spirit, zip up my mouth. Don't let the words come out of what I think I know about good and bad and right and wrong and likes and dislikes any longer. They are my imprisonment. Mm. They are what hold me in a trance of thinking I know something. And it is my freedom to recognize that I don't know. It is my freedom, my escape from the imprisonment of my own mind to recognize I don't know, to accept that I don't know. And that love will lead me in the new way of love. In every moment. Every moment. I don't know. Even if you accepted the prayer, I want to feel you in every moment, would be a beginning. I want to only answer the call of love in every moment. I want to be without these rules that I've made up. I want them to be disintegrated. I want to surrender them all and let them loose and go and out of here, because all they do is fog up my awareness of the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of harmony and joy and peace, the laws of kindness, the laws of the movement of love's joy, the acceptance that only love exists, the willingness to rest in that love. In your presence there is fullness of joy and blessedness forever and ever. Accept it, and it's yours.